Yeah, icicles over there. Good morning, friends. It's Tracey and Maze from Nova Scotia Living. We're out waiting for the bus. School's not canceled. The flyers were at the end of our driveway. So, it's minus 11 out. It's cold. I checked this morning before I woke you up. There's no notification that it's canceled. Thank goodness. Maze has his hat over his face because his face is cold because he put cream on his face. You gotta lift it up when you walk onto the bus. All right, I love ya. Have a good day.
Good night.
Good night. Have a good sleep. Sweet dreams. Oh, gosh. There. I need to go get Boris. Oh, I need these flyers. Take him for a little jaunt. I'm going to be wearing gloves and I will be putting his jacket on him. The little birds are out waiting for their food, but they'll have to wait till I get back. Oh, gosh. It's hump day. Happy hump. Humpty hump. Oh, it's needle day too. Maze and I have to have that Dupixent shot when he comes home. So, yay! Alright, we went for a walk. I had gloves on. I couldn't bring you guys out, but we fed our friends. Boris is eating his breakfast now. Oh, gosh. Oh, Randall. Bunch of them out there. Yes, they're scared of a friggin' blind. Good morning, Francis. I see Harold or Arnold out there. The squirrel. Anyways, I need to find my tripod because I'm going to boil up some chicken. I don't feel like it, but I think I'm going to make Rapure Pie today. I think that's what I'm going to do. I have 2 packs. I might just make one because that makes 3 big, or at least 2 big Rapure Pies. But I'm going to get you guys set up. Okay. It's hot here in the kitchen, but it's really cold outside with that big wind. I don't imagine the kids will be allowed outside at recess and lunch today. I can't imagine that. Anyways, I have Harriet there on the stove. You haven't seen her in a bit. For those that are new, that big pot is Harriet. Boris, skedaddle, would ya? Right here. Yeah, we got this the other day when we went down to that hockey game for Maze. We went to that Fresh Mart or something, but if we lived down there, I would be shopping there all the time because there was really good deals on meat. Anyways, this big bag of chicken drumsticks, family pack, was $6.63. I had this in the freezer. I'm going to cook this up too. Bone in, skin on chicken thighs. This was $9.90. But they had big, like the extended packs of chicken thighs were like $7. I just don't have this freezer space right now, but absolutely great place. Anyways, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this out of here. I might have to put it in a microwave to loosen it up a bit. Okay. Boris is right at my hip. And get out of here. So what I plan on doing with this, ideally boneless, like chicken thighs or even chicken breasts are easier to handle because you don't have to pick the bones. But I'm going to boil this because I need to make a chicken broth and season it up real good with some onion soup mix. Boris, get going. He's trying to convince me. But that thing's going to be on the bottom. Yeah, see. Will that come off? It will come off. Excellent. So I'm going to boil this up I know boiled chicken, like, but I'm going to pick all the bones so I get all the meat off. Yeah, I gotta wash my hands. I don't feel like doing this, but that chicken's gotta be cooked because we got that 2 days ago. Hey, Boris. Fill that up with water, not right to the top, and I know, like, I'm gonna have to make, like, add more water to it after I take the chicken out, because I need a lot of water. I need a lot of water, and I don't have any, like, boxed sauce. I might have chicken. Oh, I do have some chicken bouillon. I will throw some of that up in this. The key to Rapure Pie is having a good broth, because you'll see, I have like old videos on making Rapure Pie, like step by step and stuff, and I haven't done this in probably 2 years, maybe longer. But you gotta have a really seasoned broth. So I'm putting 2 of these bad boys in, at least, and we're gonna fill it up with water and boil the heck out of this chicken while the kids get ready for school. It makes a big, massive amount. Do I have any water in this kettle? I have a little bit. I will just refill the kettle after and put it on the stove. Oh, that's heavy. Anyways, I need to get something. I'm just filling up a potato pot to dump it in. I washed my face and put cream on. That's why I'm all friggin' shiny. Yeah, well, Dad has a doctor's appointment today. I messaged him before he even got out of bed this morning. I said, if you want me to go with you for your appointment, I'm like, I can be there in a minute. I really don't mind. But he's so like, oh, you're busy, Trace. But he has something coming up in March, and I'm taking him. He's like, well, you got the job if you want it, but he's not one to ever ask for help or doesn't want, you know, us to worry about anything. And I get it. I'm probably like that too. But for goodness sakes, man, I'm here. I don't got little babies at home. They are okay if they come home. And like usually my husband's here anyways. But if they come home and are by themselves for an hour, they're not going to burn the house down, for goodness sakes. It's different if I had babies or toddlers or littles. You know, I can go and take you somewheres. Boris would even be in support of that. Anyways, he has an appointment today. He has a friend going with him. But I messaged him. I'm like, if your friend can't go, please let me know and I can come in with you. I really don't mind. I don't mind. I don't know. Anyways, I have that little... Boris just farted at me. That feeling, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. But my dad is strong, and he's, you know, he has a long life, a lot of experience, and I'll just have to get over myself. It's just me. It's just me. But yeah. Anyways, I'm going to keep an eye on that because I don't want it to bubble over. But slowly it will bubble down, and that will defrost so I can put it in. Yeah. Rapure Pie. I'll show you one of the potato mixes. This is like if you were to juice potatoes, the pulp. You take all the juice out, this is the pulp. That's what this is. And then you rehydrate this with this super flavorful broth. And then layer it like a lasagna. with beef or chicken. Those are the normal ones that I do, but people do like bar clam ones, and oh my god, my nose is itchy. Bar clam ones, and you could do it with anything really, any kind of whatever. Anyways, it's kind of an acquired taste if you've never had it, because it is kind of like goopy and slimy, like paper mache glue, kind of. I have to sneeze. What's going on here? Something's going on. Anyways, but if it's seasoned right, it's delicious. You eat it with some sweet pickles or not. You put butter on it when it's on your plate, salt and pepper if needed. There's kind of a light crust on top. It's fabulous. And it's a great freezer meal. I can make this and freeze it. Whether I'll do that. And I have 2 of these. I don't know if I will make the 2. I'll at least make 1 today, maybe 1 tomorrow, depending on. I just don't know how much meat this is going to be, because it looks like a lot, but it's just drumsticks pretty much in 1 pack of thighs. And when I make Rapure Pie, I want a lot of meat in it. So if I can boil this for however long it takes, let it cool down. I'm not getting rid of the broth. Yeah, I can have it all in the oven. It bakes, I don't know, a couple hours at least. I haven't done this in so long. This is French, but bake in oven until crust is golden brown, approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's longer for me because I put more than 1 pie in. At 350 is what it says. So, anyways, Rapure Pie. Okay, I'm outside with the kids. Misha has a hat in her pocket. At least put your hood up. Your hair's gonna freeze like icicles.
Already frozen.
For goodness sakes. For goodness gracious glorioski. Happy Helping Hands. So, happy helping hands. You are going to school. All right, I love you so much. Have a good day. Stay snug as a bug. What do you think of that? Oh my goodness, there's a $5 bill. I bet you that was Messiah's. For goodness sakes. Oh, God. I'll have to get her to go to Dad's for lunch, like Papa's house. I'm glad I seen that. You got a piece of ice? Yeah. Right, there's no cars coming. Let's go, Boris. Come on. You can do it. Everything's so crunchy, and like I can walk on top of part of the snow and it doesn't go. Stop biting me. You'd think he'd take the opportunity to run around, but he doesn't. I win. My fingers is froze. All right, I turned this down to medium. That's probably what I'll do because I don't want it roll and boil. And well, I'll turn it up a little bit. It's just, it'll make a big mess on my stovetop. Oh, I need to defrost my fingers. Ooh, all right, guys, I haven't checked back in a bit. My husband just left. And he has to go and do his thing. It's 9:30. I have this. I'm going to take out the chicken. I ended up having to take some of the broth out here because it was just about to do its thing. But I'll pour it back in here and it'll finish cooking in that, because when we end up going to use this broth, it's in a roll and boil kind of situation. This chicken should be done cooking. It's been cooking for over an hour. Just to get some of the stuff out. I'll let this sit at least a half hour. It'll probably still be hot after that, but I need to be able to debone this chicken. Boris's nose is probably going crazy. Oh, shoot. Sheesh. Ah, sheesh. Well, well, well. Big old beige pan of boiled chicken. It sounds disgusting, but it'll all come out in the wash. It really will. I promise. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. Stay there. Stay there. I think this is the last two. Yeah. Gosh. I'm going to have to add more water to this too, because that's not going to be enough broth. This thing of potato pulp at least triples in size, I would say. Doubles in size for sure. Now, the other ones we've gotten before, you're supposed to add butter to it. Like half a cup of butter or something. But it doesn't say that in here. Maybe it's in the ingredients already. Dion's Bakery in Pubnico, Nova Scotia. West Pubnico. There's, oh, I forget. This is an Acadian dish, like French Acadian. I know there's Acadians in the States, like Cajun, Acadian. But, so you can't buy this all over Canada, even. I know my sister-in-law likes to make Rapure Pie, but she has to get it shipped out there because out in Alberta, you can't buy this. I mean, you can buy a sack of potatoes and juice them all, but yeah. Like, if frozen, thaw before using, yes. Add 2 cups of cold water and mix well. Gradually add 24 to 28 cups of boiling water, boiling broth, and water. Then mix until desired consistency. Season to taste. Layer your meat and bake in oven until crust is golden brown, approximately an hour and a half at 350. Then it goes in the French directions. So, I can't tell if this has butter in it. I'm putting half a cup of butter. I am. I always do. I'm sure I do. I'm sure I do. Yeah. Anyways, I need to let that cool down. It's 9:34. I'm going to check the laundry situation. I'll shut this off because I don't need that boiling away. But when I go to do it, I'll add some more water to this and bring it to a roll and boil. Like, it can't simmer down. It's going to be a roll and boil. And then we put it in on this bit by bit, cup by cup. It's a process. And you got to, I do it in a turkey roaster with a potato masher, but there's different ways of doing it. That's just what I do, because I'm a wiener. All right, friends, I have you at a wonky angle because I have to plug my phone in. My battery's almost dead. Actually, I'll see if I can work at the other side. Is that a little better? Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to debone this chicken is what I'm doing. I just put some wood in the fire. I got distracted with dang YouTube. Not dang YouTube. I love YouTube, but I've been watching stuff and my battery's down to 16% and the alarm keeps going off when it gets down to 15%. So I'm going to debone this chicken. It's 11:03 in the morning. I see my sister just messaged me. I'll message her back in a minute. Yeah, I need to get this going. I haven't heard from my husband. I'm assuming he got to his office safe. I will check with him after. I'm kind of shredding this up a bit. I'm getting out that little rubber bit. You know what I'm talking about at the bottom of chicken drumsticks. I don't like that. I don't like it. Make sure I don't get any little bones in there. But this is still warm, but it's not hot. Like I don't even have to put anything under this pan. Oh, the fire caught. That's good. I'll put these bones out for Randall, because they eat just about everything. And we'll get this going, and then I can relax and finish watching my boob tube on my phone. I should go up and edit, actually. I don't think I have a video scheduled for today. I don't know. This is just, it seems like the first day that nobody's here for a long time. Either one of the kids have been sick, so they've been here, and it's fine. I love when my kids are home, but it's weird to not have to do anything. I didn't even do any laundry, and I know there's laundry to do. But I didn't do any of it. So I will make 1 or 2 big pans and then probably 4 little pans, and I'll give one of those pans to Dad. Yeah, I messaged him, I think I told you this morning before I got up about going to that appointment. I messaged him again because I had to correct my typos, because I type like a frenzy. And then I'm like, another one just a little while ago, please let me know how your appointment goes, because I'm crazy. But my sister just messaged me, so I'm just like, for God's sakes. And she's like about 3 hours away. Like it's probably nothing at all, but you know. I'm not trying to be all whatever, but anyways, what I've been watching on YouTube is a bunch of TBR games, and I know you guys might not be interested in that. It's usually funny dog videos or book related things. I've been watching TBR games, and the kids all want to do games for me, like repaint or redo or whatever games, so I can pick my reads. So I'm just like, oh, it's so fun to watch. They make picking your monthly reads so fun. And I'm just thinking, if I have that many games, 2 or 3 games, I could do a first of the month read TBR game and then a middle of the month read TBR game. Because I know you might be thinking, like, how do you read the books? Sometimes I read them on my like Audible account if I actually have them in my library. And others, like, I really just squeeze them in wherever I can. And if they're free on Kindle, or like the Kindle Unlimited, I'm going to read them on there because I can read them fast on there. I'm a fairly fast reader anyways, but anyways, so many creative people out there. I'm just not that creative. So I'm going to have to copy or improvise. So that's what I've been doing. Boris is out there on the couch. I did have the gate to the kitchen shut because I don't want him getting into these chicken bones. But yeah, Rapure Pie, for goodness sakes. Now, we got the potato mix at that supermarket. But when we went to that big fancy superstore, one of those potato packs, I think were over $15, and we paid around $8 for those potato packs. So it's quite a difference. There's that little rubber thing. I know it's not rubber, but you know what I mean. Make sure there's none of those little bones in there if I can help it. I haven't made any pickles for a few years, but my mother-in-law sent out some pickles, and I think she has some bread and butter pickles in there, so I'll open a jar of those later when it's time to do this. But this takes, you know, well, it says an hour and a half. I'm thinking at least 2 hours, maybe two hours and a half, just because I'm having so many. And I was like, if I was to do that other potato pack I have in the fridge. It would just take me all friggin' day. And I can throw that potato thing in the freezer and make chicken Rapure Pie next month or something. But it's not that difficult. It's just a labor of love because it takes all this time. And it's really not that big a deal. I'm just making a big mountain out of a molehill is what I'm doing. But anyways, I talked to Marquise yesterday on the phone. I think I said that anyways, but they're doing good. I spoke with Medea. Her family's doing fabulous. Marquise and Cody couldn't go to work the past couple of days because it's so cold out in Alberta. Like, it's a different kind of cold than the East Coast, for sure. So, it's kind of equivalent in some ways, but it's just a different kind of cold. And, but anyways, it's too cold for them to go to work because they work outside. So he got to spend lots of quality time with his partner and Maverick, and Cody could be with his family, and they're doing good, which I'm excited. I think Medea and Marquise is like they were gonna be visiting that evening, so I haven't heard how they made out. I just love that they're close to each other. And my brother's family's there. And I know Medea likes to host big shindigs like I do. I don't do it as much as I used to, but, you know, she'll make these big lavish things. And my brother and his wife, my sister-in-law, who's a fabulous person, comes over and, you know, we'll share in the feast. Cody has some family members out in Alberta too. They don't live right where they live, but they've come for like Thanksgiving or maybe Christmas or something. I don't know. Easter. It's just nice that they can still be around family. I remember when they first moved out, well, when Medea did, it broke my heart, but, you know, in a good way. Like, I know, and a lot of you guys told me, like, that's just part of, you know, the good thing for FaceTime, and it's so true. Like, I'm much more accepting now. Not that I ever tried to stop them, but it's like, oh my gosh, they're going to move away. And then I go in the rabbit hole and think, eventually all my kids are not going to be here, and, you know, it's going to feel weird. But that's okay. That's part of life. It's almost like going to school for the first time in grade primary. It's all new and exciting but scary all at once. It's okay. Then I think when I'm their age, you know, when you first move out, I moved out when Medea was a baby. Like, I had her when I was 17 and lived with mom and dad because I was still in high school for 10 or 11 months, and then I moved out as soon as I was done high school. And we had a little dingy apartment, my husband and I. He was going to go to college that fall, and he did. And like, our rent was $281, I think it was. It was ridiculous. It was not a great apartment, but it was ridiculous. $280 or $81 or something. It was silly. I'm just like, I would live in a garbage can for $281 as long as it was heated and I can cook food, but not with a family. But when you're first starting out, your first house, you'll live wherever you can live. Anyways, his education background has gone from one extreme to the other, and, you know, he's a fantastic provider. So, I mean, he's more than that, but, you know, takes care of his family. We've had so many things go on in our life. We've been together for 30 years, 31 years. It's 1995, 94 when we were together. 31 years, almost 31 years in March. So, We were still high school kids. We, I say, oh, it sounds like one of those crazy books, like, oh, rival schools. You know, he was a basketball player. I was not. But we got together and happily ever after. Which we are happily ever after. It's just, we're not done living our lives too. And I can't envision our lives without little people in our house. And even though, like, Mally, she's the oldest in our house now for kids. She's 16, going on 17. She's still a little baby to me. But it's all part of growing up. It's just these steps you don't realize when you're younger. These are the steps you've got to face and step on that you don't think about when you got little kids running around your ankles. You don't think about that stuff. So anyways, it's nice. I don't know why I'm on this tangent, but it's nice that I can talk to them every day if I want to, or they call me. I need to be better at calling people. I never call anybody. I know a few of you reached out to me because I said that before, like, I don't talk to anybody. And I appreciate that. I don't know. I just, I'll say hi to people when I go to hockey. And if I happen to go to the grocery store, I don't even do that anymore, hardly ever. But anyways, I know it's my own fault. It's just me. It's just me being me. That's quite a bit of meat already. Like, I know you can't really see, but over there I have a turkey roaster and the potato masher that I like to use. I am going to put half a cup of butter in there, even though it doesn't say on that package. I'm 100% sure it says on. I don't know if it's Lacavia or I forget what the company is down the shore. Or maybe it's not even a company anymore. I don't know. But you can buy Rapure Pie mixes down there. These ones come from Pubnico, Nova Scotia, so there must be a big Acadian population there. Like where Maze goes to, not our local town hockey, he goes to the other one, which I complain about sometimes. It's not a big deal. It's me. It's not them. It's me. That's an Acadian community. My sister actually went there for university way back, way back, to learn French. She lived there for a year so she could learn French for her profession that she's in now. Yeah, there's that rubber thing. No, thank you. Anyways, and the rink that we go at is at that university where she lived for a year to be in French immersion, because when we were young, there was no French immersion in our schools. So, no, Evie's doing good. He, it's so cold out in Alberta. Like, they don't ever cancel school, Medea says. Like, it's not like they get a ton of snow, but it's super cold. But they just don't let the kids out for, recess and stuff. And they live very close to the school that he goes to, so that's good. But I'm just like, holy cow, it's minus 35 and you still have school. But it's so cold out there. The snow that they get on the roads, they use dirt and never use salt. Like they use salt here in the town. They don't use it out in the rural areas. But it's just tamped down. It's like layered. It's ice and snow, but it's just so wore down that they just drive on it. Whatever. It's just different out there. It's drier. But anyways, in regards to my books, I'm almost done The Witching Hour by Anne Rice. And I'm glad I'm listening to it on audio, because I don't know if I could have finished it with my eyes, because it's so big and it's so daunting. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. However, it's done, I forget what the title is. It's done through journal entries and letters, a lot of it, not all of it. And with the pace my life is now in my mind, not so much physically, I don't know if I could have done it, but I'm loving it. It is 100% a family saga, and I get to know the lineage of the people in this book that, you know, like way back, 15th century, you know what I mean? Witch burning times and stuff over in Europe and over here. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyways, I have the whole series. I plan on reading it. Hopefully this year. We'll see. I did a beefcake challenge video the other day on my channel. And that was put out by Big Al, which I didn't know who he was. I watched Criminale. He's a guy that does book videos, and he watches a bunch of thriller and stuff. Anyways, it's about reading big books, like over 500 page books, kind of. You know, like big books per the individual. If you're used to reading 200 page books, read a 400 page book. That's a beefcake. Anyways, I don't know if I did 12 books or 10 books. I don't know. But I was late to the challenge, but I did it. And I'm looking forward to reading the books that I picked. One of the books I picked was by Clive Barker. Well, two of the books were by Clive Barker, but one was something Gospels. But one of the people that do BookTube, and he does a whole bunch of horror reviews, he mentioned you should probably read this before you read that. I didn't know that. It's a book I thrifted out in Alberta when I was there last January, like 2024. So I might switch that up, but whatever. Anyways. Well, today is semester 2 for the high school kids. Like, I think there must be 2 semesters a school year. Today is the first day of semester 2 because the exams are all done. And everything stays the same, at least for Misha. I don't know about Mally. At least for Misha and Messiah. Except for the electives. So, I don't know. Misha's going into textiles, which I don't know what that is. I don't know what she did last year. I can't keep the stuff straight. You know, when I was in school, the electives would be like sewing or cooking or typing. I took typing and sewing one year. That's where I learned to type. I still do the old, like when you're done a sentence, click, click, 2 spaces in between sentences. I guess that's not a thing anymore. And I didn't know that. Mally and Messiah are like, what are you talking about? I'm just like, well, period, space, space, and then period, space, space. And do you guys know what I'm talking about? I guess that's not a thing. And that was from high school. And when we did that, when I took typing the first time, it was like the old school typewriters where, you know, if your finger went down in between, it scrapes on the way out. You had to get to, I think, 30 words a minute before you got to an electric typewriter. Mally has an electric typewriter. Dad got it from Frenchie's. Anyways, you soon learn to do 30 words a minute or you're in pain. And it was Miss Tate, I believe. And she was just a short little lady. And yeah, you had like, I don't know, maybe it must be like a minute to do 30 words and sentence structure and stuff like that. I'm certainly glad I took it because that's where I learned to, you know, type with my whole hand instead of with my finger. But yeah, I think it was Miss Tate. And she was just a short little lady. I remember liking her. Like, she was neither here nor there in regards to, she wasn't a mean teacher. She was like, you just can't move forward till you can't get to one of those fancy, shiny electric typewriters until you get to that point. And she'd come along with a pencil and mark any mistakes that you made and stuff like that. I don't think they have typing anymore. It must be like keyboarding or something. I don't know. But I remember when we lived in Halifax, I think we were there 8 years, I think. Anyways, it was like right when we started getting the internet. It wasn't like high speed, but it wasn't dial up. It was like the beginning of that. And we got a game. It was Garfield typing. And it was like little games to type this many minutes to go to the next level. And it was really fun. I wonder if they still have that. They probably don't, but I wish they did, because it would be total nostalgia for me. Living in a basement apartment on my old Hewlett Packard, or whatever it was. No, Compact Presario, I think it was. Computer. I would do typing games and listen to audiobooks. And not so much audiobooks, they're almost like dramatizations. I listened to a lot of Narnia ones. I never listened to the whole series. I'd get whatever you could, because it was LimeWire or Napster or something like that. Whatever you could get, not knowing. But I do remember trying to download music. And that was when some musicians were blocking people. And, you know, I tried to download some Metallica songs, and a notification came up and said, actually their names, like Lars this, and I forget their names now for Metallica, is banning you from trying to do this. If you proceed, you will be charged. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they know who I am. But they didn't. It's probably just a bot. But back in the 2000s, you think, oh my God, and they get right offended, like, I can't believe that. But it's just silliness. All the things. All the things. I'm just rambling today because I need to, I guess. Yeah, when I finished high school, we lived in the house down by his parents' house for a couple of years while he went to college. And then he went to university and I went to college. But I lived up the valley in this little basement apartment with Medea, who was a baby. I used to ride a bicycle with one of those baby seats on the back to drive her or ride her to daycare. I didn't know anybody in this little town. It reminded me of a Stephen King town. I honestly did not like the town at all. It just felt like the apartment I lived in. There was a guy that lived down in the basement in the opposite apartment. He was an older guy with like intellectual disabilities and stuff. And he'd come over and try to give us puddings. He was very nice. His name was Orny. I don't know. He was very nice. Anyways, made friends with him, kind of thing. I'm not a doctor, so diagnosed as, you know, somebody very much younger than his age, like he was older than me. And I'd go over and help him a bit, and he was just nice to have a friend. And my husband lived in the city while I was going to college, so we'd just see each other on the weekend. Anyways, eventually, well, when I first moved there, I lived on a farm with another girl named Tracey, who went to the town, like the school I went to. But I had to take my family dog because circumstances, and I couldn't imagine. Anyways, I couldn't live in the farm. They didn't want me to have a dog there. So I ended up moving from that farm. And the farm was very nice. And the apartment was old. It was above a barn. And there was another apartment there. I think it was the family's, like the farm family's son. And he was a character. Holy cow. But my dog, Toffee, you know, I had to fend for my dog Toffee. So I ended up moving with Medea in the middle of a college year because I couldn't let my dog go. And then I got that apartment where Orny lives across the hall. No, that's wrong. I'm sorry. I'm going all over the place. I left the farm and had to find a temporary spot. And I rented a room. I rented a room before I got the apartment with Orny. So it was a room in a house close to her daycare. And the people that own the house, their son lived there, and then another guy lived there, which I think now, he was just out of imprisonment. He was very nice. But we were only there less than a month. I just had to go somewheres before I could find an apartment. So after I left there, I went to the apartment that I had across the hall from Orny. And lived there with Medea and rode my bicycle every day to, her daycare while I went to community college. I took applied communication arts and graphic design and that sort of thing. And then later on I went to Halifax for college and stuff, photography and whatnot. But anyways, that was a time in my life, it was like a chapter. It's funny, when I lived in that house with that son and the guy that came out of prison, again, very nice people, very, very nice. Nothing sketchy ever going on. Served his time and all that stuff. I used to have a huge library of VHSs, which most of them are still up in my attic, which if you've been with me for a long time, you know this. Anyways, one of my videos that I had was Showgirls with, I forget what her name is. She was off of Saved by the Bell. Anyways, that video went missing. I'm just like, oh my God. It was back in the 90s, early 2000s. One of those guys, whatever. And the son that lived in that house, he was obsessed with Pink Floyd. Like, obsessed. Most of the time that I was there, and it was only maybe a month. Like, it wasn't more than a month, I know that. It was just a temporary spot, and I could have toffee there. And they had a dog too. But that son, he'd often have, friends over and stuff, and they just blast Pink Floyd. And I'm not against Pink Floyd. I like Pink Floyd, I do, but he was obsessed. The other guy that was in prison, not anymore at that time, like he had served his time. He was working at the garbage dump or something like that, or the scrap yard. So he would go to work all day. He was an older guy. He'd go to work all day, and I would go to school all day. I'd go pick up Medea, and I'd come back, and I'd pretty much spend the day in my room, and with Medea and Toffee, you know what I mean? I'd socialize a bit, but, I didn't know these fellers. The parents of the boy that lived in that house were nice. They'd come every once in a while and cook and stuff. But I was like early 20s. And I think now, like, that sounds really sketchy, but it really was fine. Everything turned out fine. There was nothing sketchy. Medea was never unsupervised. Everybody was almost like scared of me in the sense that, I'm a little weird anyways. You guys might know that or you might not. I'm just like, I put a little force field around me. A little bubble around me, Stay back if you mean any ill intent, but nobody ever meant any ill intent. So it was good. Boy, I'm going off on a tangent, aren't I? I've got so many stories of different things. But the next year, I was only in that town for a year. The next year, I moved up to the city with my husband. Technically not my husband. I just don't know what else to call him. It's weird to call him my boyfriend. We're not married. I'm not into marriage. I really am not. We are together. We are together. However, then we shared an apartment. Or while he was in the city, he was living in a shared apartment with my brother, Josh, and his cousin. And it was like a basement apartment. They lived in that. And then the next year, those guys moved out. And then I moved in that apartment. So my husband and I shared that apartment. You know, like had that apartment. It had, what the heck did we do? Oh, I think his cousin still lived there for the first year, and he was just there for a minimal amount of time or something. I forget. But it was like a 3-bedroom apartment. We lived there, and it was like a basement apartment. And I made a really good friend in that apartment building. And I haven't seen her in years. Her name was Julie. We went to her wedding after we even moved down here. But I think she's a teacher somewheres. But anyways, we got up to a lot of stuff. Safely. So that's just a little blurb about our young adulthood, I guess. What are you smelling, Boris? You smelling something good? It doesn't matter now, but our first apartment in Halifax was on Shabukdo Road, I think. For you Nova Scotian Haladonians, you might know, was on Shabukdo Road. The second apartment was on Kencrest, and the third apartment was on Kencrest. We ended up, after moving from Shabukdo Road, after Shabukdo Road, we moved to Bayers Road, and then we moved to Kencrest Road. And then we had 2 apartments on Kencrest Road in the same building. The first apartment was like on the front of the building. The second apartment was on the back of the building, which had a balcony. And we wanted a balcony. It's almost like a totally separate room when you're used to living in a hole. And by that time, we moved to that last apartment that we were there on Kencrest. Marquise was born. He was just a baby when we moved from Halifax. He might have been almost 2, I think. I don't know. And by that time, poor Toffee had to be laid to rest, which was the most difficult decision I've ever made in my life. Absolutely horrendous. And I never, ever, ever, ever want to do that again. Boris is going to live forever. And Violet took that right out of my hands, which, you know, I can talk about it now, but took that decision right out of my hands. But that was so difficult. So, anyways. And then eventually we moved down in this neck of the woods because, my husband had gone through university a few times, different things to go up a level and up a level and up a level. And now he's at the tippy top that you can possibly get. And he's an academic, even though he would never admit that. His family are academics. Me, not so much. I can keep food shelf stable, so there's that. I know something that he doesn't know. I just don't bother doing it as much as I used to anymore. I know how to do it though, if I had to. So, you know, boof. Oh my goodness, this is taking forever. Really, this is not the chicken, the meat's fine, but you know, this is taking what, an hour? I don't know how long. You guys are far away, so I have no idea how long this video is. I just thought I'd chit chat with you because Boris just cuts me off eventually. That's a lot of meat, but that's good. That's what I want. That's what I want. You know what I want? I want to talk to Samson. Sailing to the moon. Do you guys know what that's from? I kept out some choice words, but that's a funny movie. There's a lot of quotes in it. Dave Chappelle's in it. Maybe that'll give you some hints. I don't know. I say stuff all the time, even though I'm not filming. Like I talk to Boris all the time, or my friends that you don't see, or my relatives that are here. I asked my loved ones to keep an eye out on my family today, especially. And actually, when I was at the dentist yesterday, while I was there, I was closing my eyes. They have a TV on the top. I don't ever watch it. Just little snippets. Regis and, I want to say Regis and Kelly, but Regis and Kathy Lee, but it's not. I'm there doing breathing exercises where I can, and just like meditating almost, just because. And I was holding my hat on my lap for so long. It's been a long time since I've been to the dentist. It's embarrassing, I'll tell you, but it's been since 2017 I went to the dentist. That's embarrassing. That's shameful in the sense of, I didn't have any cavities though, so that's a friggin' amazing. I thought it was going to be way worse. They just need to fix my chipped tooth where I had a root canal, because I guess the tooth gets brittle. And there's another tooth I had a different root canal on, apparently. I can't even remember. That has a little chip out of it, but it's been like that for years. So we'll go in and fix that. I'm like, okay, it'll just be a different appointment. As long as my insurance covers a bulk of it, I'll get it done. But I'll try to be better. I'll try to be better. But if you don't have insurance for the dentist here in Canada after you get so old, I think it's 15 or 16. They don't cover it. Like if it's before that, they cover it. Like the government covers it. But after that age, they don't cover it. And I just had a cleaning yesterday, and the doctor came in to look at the tooth that I chipped. That would have been almost $300. I understand why people don't go to the dentist, because it's too dang expensive. I don't know what it's like in other countries. I don't know what it's like in the States. But I only had to pay $30 because my husband's work like insurance. Because $300 might not seem like a lot to some people, but it's a lot. We make fairly good money. However, I still need to budget everything. And $300 is nothing to sneeze at. So, anyways, there's that whole bowl of chicken. I think that's everything. I am putting this out there. I know I could save it for something, but I'm not going to. Hopefully they'll see it immediately and come get it before it freezes as a chunk. But we need to get this going because it's 11:42 now. Let me just see. How long have I been running my mouth? 38 minutes? Oh my God. All right, it's 11:44. It's minus 14. I'm bringing my compost out. Randall! Oh, that's the air compressor going off in the shop. Randall! He'll hear me. Look at the big footprints. Maybe that's a crow or a seagull. Oh, I hear him. Come here, Randall. He's over there. I see him. I got stuff for you. I'll zoom in a second. Oh, gosh. Oh, just a minute. I need to get all of it. All of it. All of it. Come on over, Randall. I got some goodies for you. Oh. So, well, that's good. I know it might seem like a waste, and some people will be like, oh, they shouldn't eat that. But it's not like they get that all the time. And it's friggin' cold. And they got to eat what they can eat. And they eat garbage off the side of the road. And squished animals. And break into garbage bags. And eat garbage. So, whatever. Anyways, I'll go in. I turned Harriet on so it starts to get a boiling, like a rolling boil, and we'll get this party started. Well, I was just trying to catch ya. He was laying right there with his head on that pillow. That's his pillow. I thought he was mad because I wouldn't let him have those chicken bones, but I have Harriet coming up to snuff. I'm going to put this big board on my table because Mabel, the table, doesn't want to have like hot stuff on there, but there's the bowl of chicken meat, so we're good. All right, so I got, this will be priority for supper. I'm going to do 4 of these little ones. If I have any left over, I'll do this. If it's not enough for this, I'll just get a couple more of these little ones. But I need to wait for that broth to come up to snuff. Like roll and boil. Not just hot. I need it rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. All right, I just cut off, I thought it was like half a cup maybe, of a big block of butter. Putting that in, and now I'm going to open this up and put it in here. All right, you can, I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of like flaky a little bit. That's what potato pulp looks like. Potato flakes. So once this gets going, I have a 2-cup measuring cup here and a plate to put it on so it doesn't make a giant mess. And hopefully that's enough water. If not, I will make some more. But yeah, we got to get this rolling. Ooh, all right, this is just about bubbling. I'll take this off because it's going to be hot. I'm going to use an oven mitt too, because you do not want to get scorched by this broth. All right, so I put the thing in the garbage, but you just go according to what you think the texture looks like. But it's almost like it's transparent gelatin. It's actually kind of gross looking, but you just do it. I'm going to fast pace this because this video is going to be super long, but you'll be able to see what it looks like when it's all done. So let's boogie. Okay, Google, play Depeche Mode.
Playing Depeche Mode on YouTube Music.
I did more than I thought. I will put the videos that I made years ago down in the description if you want to see step by step how to make this and see with the texture and everything. But it's really slimy and gelatin kind of potato, but it's delicious. I know it seems like I'm putting lots of salt, but it's potato. You really have to make sure the potato tastes as good as the meat. Otherwise, it's not any good. And you don't want it too dry, and you don't want it too liquidy. So it's a delicate balance. This didn't get as translucent as sometimes I've done it, but I put 26 cups of broth in here. Said it could go up to 28, but I don't think it could take it. So I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to get at least 3 pans in the oven now. I'm going to contact some friends and neighbors if they want individual ones. I know a lot of people have been asking about that, but we're just keeping it incognito these days. I was asked to, just for privacy's sake, but friends and neighbors, if they want any, they can have some. And there's lots of meat, so I'm really pleased. It made more than I thought. Oh, and also, these do not get covered up when you bake them. So I'll put them in for an hour. The 2 big pans on top, the pan with the 4 little ones on the bottom, and then I'll flip-flop them and for another probably half hour to an hour. I'm listening to the cure. I got them all in except for 2 little ones. I'm just going to leave them like this until it's time. I'm going to start messaging people to see if anybody wants any. I just messaged a few people, one of them being that lady I made that sweet potato pie for at Christmas time. I said I'm making chicken rapure today. I don't know if not everybody eats it, right? So I'm like, if you guys like it, I can bring one in for you and your partner. Because I'm coming in tomorrow because my girls have a dentist appointment. Mally and Messiah have their yearly cleaning. And I could drop it off. So I'm just going to wait to hear back. And then other ones, I'm bringing some to Dad whether he likes it or not. Because I know he likes it, but he'll be like, oh, you don't need to do that, Trace. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, Dad. Again and again and I set the alarm for 46 minutes first. And then I'll rotate them instead of an hour. And we'll just see how they do from there. And after that's all out, I'll do these 2. So it'll be fine. All right, 45 minutes. I'm going to switch the bottom to the top to the bottom. Just like that. Boris is being a doorknob. Who's walking by our house, Boris? Who you barking at? Oh, somebody's walking way up the street there. Would you calm down? They're allowed to go for a walk. For heaven's sakes, they're allowed to go for a walk. It's 2:22. It's really cold out, so I'm not going for a long walk with him. I'm going to take him out around 2:30 and walk around the house like 5 times because it's really cold out. And I can't handle it. That Rapure Pie's in the oven. And Maze will be home and maybe later on, but it's too cold. I know he wouldn't be comfortable. He's been doing zoomies a bit, and we'll see. We'll see. All right, we did walk up about 5 houses and back. Let him sniff his sniffs. I'm just coming in to get my bag. But I noticed there's a whole bunch of bird prints right around the door. I didn't have any garbage bags out here or nothing. They were probably knocking on the door and I didn't hear them. Who knows? That Rapure Pie I put in for another 20 because it wasn't quite as crispy as I want yet. I got my bag. This I wish the axe was up here. I don't know where it is. That's ice. Oh, maybe a shovel will do it. I'm gonna try to find a shovel and bang on it to see if I can break it. I doubt it, but a nice sledgehammer or an axe would do it. We need to get a bag of salt. Maybe there's a hoe. That's a shovel. All right. Let me see if I can break that up. Oh, he was just looking at me like, what are you doing, woman? There's my bag. I don't have my tripod out here to set you up so I can make a fool of myself, but I'm going to see if I can break that up. All right. I just went psycho on this, so see if it cleared any. God, I'm out of breath. Didn't get it all, but better than it was. I don't need anybody falling and breaking their tailbone. I'm going to try to bust that up. All right. Is that better? All that pieces. That piece. Well, it's much better than it was, because this whole thing was ice. And you're just asking for somebody to go arse over tea kettle with that. Much better. I gotta get that thing. That. Oh, the bus came just as I was finishing that up, so that's good. I didn't even get a chance to sit down, but we did walk around the house quite a few times. Oh, gosh. That's enough physical activity for me today. How was school? I missed ya. I missed ya. Oh, he doesn't have his dang boots. What you got on your feet? Oh, jeez. You done did it again. Oh, I need to go in the house. Go have a pee, and then you can run over to the house. Go have a pee. Go have a pee. There. Maze? Are you still there? I told him to wait to call him in. Maybe he didn't hear me. All right. There's the... He's done the do. All right, let's go. I can't even... I'm out of breath. It's like crunchy. I'm coming. I'm coming, you old turkey bird. Oh my goodness gracious, Glorioski. What are you smelling? Come on. All right, friends. These are all done. I have the other pan with the last two of those little ones in the oven. But you can see that it's a bit of brown on top. Get going. Get going. It's kind of pulled away from the sides a little bit, but not so much that it's dried out. There's a little crust. You don't want it too much, but throw a slab of butter on there. And then cut it with some sweet pickles, bread and butter pickles or something if you want. So good. So good. All right, Boris is alerting to me. I was listening to an audiobook now. I just have those covered up because those two will be in the fridge and freezer. This will be for supper. I need to dig out a jar of pickles. But he must have heard the bus. Just look at that tail. Oh, I see somebody out there. Oh, my word. How was school? I missed ya. How was second semester first day? Oh, you hated it. Oh, wonderful. There's Misha's plate. Oh, you need to put more on there. Are you putting pickles too?
No.
Right on top of the chips?
I don't like those pickles.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
You don't like sweet
Right, these are I know you do like dill pickles. These are bread and butter pickles from September 2024. There's Mally's. Maze has already taken off with his. Boris is hoping for a slice, but you can't. There's onion in it. But Messiah tops her Rapure Pie off with barbecue chips. Classy lady. Well, he could have a little bit, I guess, but it's just there's onion soup mix in it. I don't want him having anything.
Too late now.
Too late now. We got to be careful. All right, everybody had their fill of Dupixon. No, Rapure Pie, but Maze and I just had our Dupixon shot, so we'll be all souped up for the next couple of weeks. Well, hey friends, it's Tracey from Another Day. I'm putting an ending on this. I know this one is super long. I even cut some stuff out too. Look at that. Look at that manly man. He's snow blowing for me. Well, for us, for our driveway, for the car, so it doesn't get tore out from underneath. But anyways, yeah, Rapure Pie. I know that one pan I said was for supper. Both pans were eaten up. So it was just the 6 little ones that were left. So the next day, I think it's in the video anyways, I dropped one to Dad, a couple to another place, and etc., etc. Needless to say, it was gone the next day. All of that was gone the next day. So I'll probably make another Rapure Pie in the near future because that was such a success. I really liked it and I really missed it and they really ate it all up. But, yeah, when the kids get home, I was just watching. They say I'm snarky, but really they're just being sarcastic and funny. Like, if you don't know them like I know them, don't take any offense to that. Like, they're just being kids. They're fine. I can be just as sarcastic as them. But, oh, it was just blown out into the road. But yeah, they really liked it. And they want me to make it again. My husband's like, will you do a roast beef one? I'm just like, well, yeah, but when that meat comes on sale, I'm not going to just go buy a little piddly roast beef because I'd want like 3 of them at least. And roast beef is dang expensive. So if you can find some roast beef that is on sale that I can stick in a slow cooker on low all night long so it'll be shreddable, yeah, I'll do that. But I don't want to go spend $50 on enough roast beef for an $8 Rapure Pie mix, you know? No, not doing it. Not doing it. So anyways, I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose. But if not, that's okay too. I still love ya. I still want all the happiness in the world for each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. So, okay, guys, with that, I'm going to say have a good night or have a good morning. And I will. See you tomorrow. Bye. Boink.